My name's Lee, and this is my little postcard to you about my handmade life. I've decided to start something new on the knitting front. You might have noticed that I've been knitting rather a lot of socks because over the last few months, well, for most of this year actually, I've felt really low energy. And so I've just been knitting lots and lots of socks because they don't require much mental capacity. However, it is a bit boring, and so I decided to cast on something new. You might be going, Harley, why didn't you just pick up one of the other things that you've already cast on? And that would be being a killjoy. Let's not think about those other things. I ordered the yarn for this particular project much earlier in the year. It is a yarn called Mondum. Which has been around for a while in this lovely sort of orangey, rusty colour. I think it's made in Portugal. It's not superwash or anything like that. It is 100% Portuguese wool. So yeah. Is that focusing? Have I got my camera to focus on anything? Anyway, this is readily available on the Tintwebs. And if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that last year, was it last year or the year before? I knitted myself a running jumper. In the past, I've had superfine merino superwash garments, which I prefer to wear for running. I just find they're better for heat regulation and keeping you warm in the winter. Actually, even in warmer weather, they're better for heat regulation. Not really excruciating hot weather. But anyway, I'm just wittering now. So I had decided that actually I could do with some more exercise clothing and that I would like another jersey for running in. And I picked out a pattern and I was discussing my pattern choice with a friend, and she'd said to me, well, will you have the freedom of movement? Will you be able to run in that? And I was sort of like, yeah, no problem. I don't flail my arms about or anything when I'm running. But as I was thinking about it, I actually use my other running jumper for yoga as well, and I had intended to use this one the same way. And so something that had a wider body and a drop sleeve wasn't going to work particularly well. So I changed my mind about the design. And so I've chosen the comfortable pattern by, I think it's Judith Brien or Judith Brien. And if I shimmy over this way, perhaps I'll be able to put a photograph of the design here. It's just a little bit more fitted and doesn't have a really low armpit, but is still comfortable. And I wanted something in the winter that has a high neck. I'm someone that likes to have something up around my neck because I tend to get a little bit chilly. And so, let me put this down. I've cast on, and so far, I'm in a tangle, I've got this far. I'm doing the neck, and it's quite an interesting construction. You start with a little hem and then you pick up for the neckband afterwards. So that's going to be pick up for the neckband and do that at the very end. So that's going to be really interesting. I've based the sizing on my shoulder and bust measurements, and when I get below the armpits I might have to increase for my hips as well. But I'll see how I get on with that as I go along. So anyway, that's the wee thing that I have started this week. It's lovely to have you here. Let me know if you're starting something this week just on a Woman of Fancy, and I shall talk to you again soon. Cheerio.